Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next From Nothing Luxunvur's story. Now, after last session, we're going to go ahead and jump ahead to the next morning. I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that didn't pop up on the page, but it is a 24. I forgot
Okay.
to set up my...
No worries. No worries. With a 24, don't worry about it. Nothing seems to happen. As you awaken at about 5:45 in the morning, with plenty of time to go and get yourself something to eat, it is the beginning of another day of hopefully progress and training. Do you go to breakfast?
Yep, go to breakfast.
Okay. Let me roll to see how the golems did.
Hopefully really well.
You get 5 temporary hit points.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. Golem's coming in clutch.
As it happens. Okay. After breakfast, you, I assume, head straight to your classroom unless there's something else you'd like to do.
How much time is there remaining until I need to be there?
Class generally begins at 7 sharp. And breakfast is served at 6. So you basically have that much time.
Yeah, I'll just go to class then.
Okay. Let me pull up Irriakis' sanctuary. As you arrive in the classroom, you do not see the other student that's typically here, the individual named Kyo. You do see Irriakis the Unbroken in his usual meditation circle. And as you enter, he looks over at you, and he says, "Good morning.
Good morning.
I heard you were very successful with your task yesterday."
It was taken care of swiftly.
Well done. Today, I have need of you here.
Okay.
It is a simple task. You are not to leave my classroom until you learn where we are.
And how am I supposed to do that?
Explore. Perhaps you will find someone who knows the answer, or perhaps something will tell you. But do not return until you know where we are.
Yes, Master.
Good. And he resumes his meditation. What do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna roll a dice to see which direction I go.
Okay.
Gonna do a D8, and one's gonna be north and all the way around cardinal directions. So
Sure.
that's not the right one. Maybe. Ooh, so northeast. I'm just gonna walk northeast, around trees, through trees, and just keep heading that direction.
Okay. You walk northeast. Roll me a survival.
13.
As you are walking, you notice it feels as though the sun is shining on the like on your back in the southwesterly direction. You realize that feeling, because when you turn and look, the suns are hidden beneath the canopies of massive trees that are high above. As you turn and look, there is the direction of the door that you entered here. You always know where the door is to get out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a creepy feeling washes over him for a moment. Sort of unnatural. But he will keep walking and looking, inspecting trees, looking for signs of life, any movements.
Roll me perception.
Okay. Perception. That one.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, all right. Hold on a second here. Well, with a natural one, well, that's kind of problematic.
Well.
You are again kind of amazed at the scope of this place. Nothing like it anywhere you've seen, especially not around Quarterstone. The trees themselves are massive and grow hundreds, if not even thousands of feet tall. Each of them is easily thicker than any tree you've ever seen in your life. The scale of everything here makes you feel minute, insignificant. Even though your true form is hidden, as such, your true form still would be tiny in comparison to the scale of everything here. The massive vines and roots that uproot and kind of weave their way in and out of the shallow water that seems to run throughout this entire place. It's almost terrifying. Except for the fact that you don't see anything moving at all. You don't see any life. You don't hear any wildlife. It's like being alone, but out in the wilderness.
Is the air still?
No. There's a constant breeze that seems to come from all directions. It's cool air. It's not too humid, which is surprising to you, considering that you're standing in shallow water all the time.
I think he'll kind of reach out and just, hello?
You
See
just
if he gets a
you
response.
call out.
Yeah, just call out.
Okay. One moment. Why don't you roll me just a general charisma roll?
Oh boy, we all know I'm super great at that.
So far, so good. Yeah.
4.
4. You call out to the massive wilderness that you are in. You don't hear any response. Your voice doesn't echo as if you were in a big canyon or anything like that. The trees seem to prevent that from happening, despite the fact that you feel as though everything here is massive and cavernous. You don't see or hear any reaction to your call.
What to do, what to do. I think Wandering, searching, yielded no results.
Yeah, he
Reaching
did it
out.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah. But he just, the thought process in his head right now is this place is so massive, and he could walk for an eternity and probably never find anything.
Okay.
But he's gonna keep trying. He's just gonna keep walking. He'll probably walk for an hour before he tries something else.
All right. Hold on a minute here. Do me a favor and roll me a D100.
And
A 10. Okay.
man, my rolls are not the hottest.
Well,
today.
it's D100 isn't quite the same.
I know, but they've just all been low.
After approximately another 20 minutes of walking, your passive perception allows you to notice your footsteps as they are stepping into water. They're not quiet in particular, but you hear the overlaying splash of someone else walking as well. You realize you're not alone.
Huh. I'm just gonna keep walking nonchalantly and try to see how far away they are from me.
Okay. Sure. Roll me a... you don't need to roll anything for this. As you're walking, the echo picks up relatively quickly. You imagine they're maybe 60 or 70 feet away.
And can I tell what general direction it is?
Yeah, it's behind you. Not directly behind, but maybe a little bit off to your left.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up the pace and maybe jog a little bit to see if they follow suit.
Okay. They would. Although, when you begin to jog, they don't seem to really put any effort into disguising their steps behind yours.
Okay. I'll he'll stop and he'll turn around and who's there?
Roll me a perception check.
Me too.
You see, in the water, maybe 30 feet away, it is perched with one foot leaning against the roots of a massive, what almost looks like a willow tree. The shallow water comes up to just over the haunches of its hind legs, and it is kind of an upright position looking at you. It is a creature made of stone and water. It does not regard you with any eyes that look like the semblance of real eyes. They look as though water has coalesced into two pearls to look at you, but it is small in size. Roll me a nature check.
Boy. Okay. And
You recognize this creature is roughly in the shape of an otter. But it is made entirely of stone and water, as if the stone is its skin and it is vaguely separated by small rivulets of water, and they gently flow and coalesce around each other, making the shape solid.
I'll try to get closer to it.
How?
I'll gently walk my way towards it, trying to keep my footsteps light and trying to make myself look as less threatening as possible.
Okay. As you begin to approach, you see that its kind of long, agile body drops down into the water, and it twists and turns and rolls. It looks like it wants to play.
Huh. Sure, I'll entertain you, and I'll approach it.
Okay. As you approach this strange creature, and you get within maybe about 10 feet of the thing, it pops back up out of the water, and you see that there's nothing solid within this otter. Aside from the stones itself, it looks as though its silhouette, its shape is made of water, and it's just full of stone. Gray stone that slides over and past each other. And as you have gotten this close, the otter emerges from the water and is looking up at you, and then it dives back into the water in a spin.
And it's still in the same place, or it's moving away from me?
It's staying within the same 5-foot square. It is swimming and emerging and swimming and emerging as if it's trying to get you to swim with it.
Sure, I'll slowly get down into the water and try to submerge myself, even though it's not very deep.
Yeah, you know it's maybe 6 or 7 inches deep.
Right.
Or at least that's what it seems like. Except when you lower yourself down with the intent to submerge yourself, you cannot help but feel a sudden twinge as you look, and it's as though the waters have opened beneath you, and there is hundreds of feet of open water below you. You are swimming.
He's a little dumbfounded at the moment. He forgets the creature's even there. And he swims down. He just goes down, see how far he can get.
The massive trees whose roots you remembered were dug into the stone and earth, verily submerged. It seems as though those trees continue on, deeply, far past you. And as you're swimming down and down and down, you can still see, fairly clearly, the water is relatively clear and clean. It is easy to swim, and there is no bite to your eyes that is characteristic of salt water. You are in fresh water as you're swimming down. As you swim deeper and deeper, you hear the rustle of moving water near you. You realize your otter companion is swimming down with you and seems to be watching you very curiously. As you're swimming down, I'd like you to roll me another perception check. And also, I'd like to know what your Constitution modifier is. 3, okay.
Perception's a 10.
The waters are deep. As you're swimming down, you see that there are massive cliffs and landings that trees are growing up and out of, up and up and up toward the surface, far behind you as you swim down 200, 300 feet deep. How far do you go? If you go as far as you can...
He would go until he physically couldn't go anymore, when his lungs feel like they're gonna pop and he has to turn around.
Well, I remind you, you will have to swim back.
I know. When he feels his lungs start to burn and he knows he doesn't have much longer, he'll turn around.
Roll me a con save, and we can use that to determine how far you'll get.
Alright, that sounds good. Not very far. 9.
9. You're taking a lot in right now. There is a lot to absorb. You see the semblance of other creatures in the water near you. They seem alarmed by your presence, and so they are not coming close to you. As you are swimming around down here, maybe 100 feet off to your left, you see there is an old ship here somehow. It is sunken, destroyed. The wooden remains of the boat look as though they've been here for hundreds of years. It is largely deteriorated, but it's not salt water, so maybe it's older. But it is at this point, when you get to about 350 feet deep, that you need to turn around.
Well, he put his hand over his mouth to try to force the air from coming out, and he'll head back up and look to see if his little otter friend is still following him.
Oh yeah, he's very near you. He's about 10 feet away. Swimming and curling, spinning in the water playfully as it watches you fight to get back to the surface. Roll me another con save, please.
Okay. 16.
You swim back to the surface without real issue. It is concerning. Being deep in the water and struggling to return is always a little concerning. But you return to the surface, and as you do, the instant your face breaks the water and you catch air, it feels as though the seafloor is just under your feet. It feels as though you could stand up with no issue.
I'll stand.
As you do, the otter emerges in the water next to you, spinning and splashing, making tight circles.
I look to him and, can you speak?
Roll me animal handling.
Now on, are you...
The otter does not seem to have heard you, or if it did, it does not understand you. It does not seem to react.
I guess that was wishful thinking. I'll go try to touch him. Like,
Okay. Sure. You reach down toward the stone and water otter. As you do, the creature notices your attempt, and it's swimming around on its back right now, and as your hand is extended, it reaches its hand up and kind of bats around at your hand.
Hey. Alright, fine. Your adorableness says it all. Are you gonna follow me if I keep going? You probably don't even understand that. Alright. Let's keep moving. And I'll turn around and keep walking the same way.
Okay. You resume walking, your feet gently plodding into the shallow water. Feels as though there is sturdy stone beneath your footsteps. How long do you walk?
Probably another hour.
After about 20 minutes, the otter would grow bored of whatever it is that you're doing, and it would swim off. And once again, you'd find yourself alone. Roll me a perception check. And another D100.
Okay. Perception. Bro, please.
A 10. Okay, roll me a D100.
Oh my god.
66. One
My
moment.
dice hate me for being away for so long.
Apparently so.
God, 2 net ones and we've only been playing for like 30 minutes.
Ah. What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Draconic, Primordial, and Undercommon.
Okay. Well, you notice with a 10, you notice it because it bounces off of your foot. A bottle is floating, bobbing in the surface of the water. It has a cork in it.
I pick it up and...
It's cool to the touch. It seems clean. You can see through the sun's light that is passing through the brown glass of the bottle, there is a scroll or parchment within it.
I'll uncork it and take it out.
The message that was in the bottle is not in a language that you understand. Which is why I asked what languages you speak.
That makes sense now. He'll just roll it up and tuck it in his little jacket pocket for later.
Do you put it back in the bottle?
No, it just goes right in. Oh, my clothes are wet. He would put it back in the bottle. He's not that stupid.
Okay. You put it back in the bottle, you recork it, and you slide the bottle into your belt.
Yep.
Okay.
And after that hour, if that's the only thing that happened,
It seems like a vast place.
Yeah, his next thing that he's going to do is sit and meditate. And just wait and try to focus on his surroundings. As endlessly walking is not helping him.
Okay. You sit and you meditate. What do you think about while you're meditating?
I think about... He probably tries to think about nothing. He probably tries to have an empty mind as he takes in the sounds, the feelings, the smells, everything of his surroundings to try to get a better sense of what is there without seeing.
Okay, so he's trying to clear his mind.
Yep. Everything is too much for him. It's so wondrous, and he just has too much going on.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
20.
20. All right. Roll me a D100. All right, hold on. As you clear your mind, you focus. You think about the area around you, where you've been, what you see, the massive trees, the strange way the water behaves. It's all out of place. You've never seen anything in Amaranth like this. You never heard of any place in Amaranth like this, but to be fair, you haven't heard of very many places. As you look around, and it seems as though this forest of massive trees is unending, it almost feels dissonant, as if someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but there's no illusion. There's no deception here. It seems as though this place is what it is, whether you accept it or not. Which might be frustrating, but with a wisdom save of 20, you keep your cool. You think about what you've already seen. You think about the things you've already done here. The long day of training that you spent learning to walk up a tree. Learning everything Irriakis could show you on that first day. While you're here and you're thinking about it, and you're looking around, nothing seems to happen.
That built up, I was like, oh. Okay. Um. All right. He feels better about himself. Thinking back about his first day, he's gonna try to climb a tree.
Okay. You pick a tree that looks suitable, which is most of them. Um, all right. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Not 20 for 27.
You remember the trick easily. You climb the nearest tree. You walk straight up it with no strain to your body. Your feet feel as though they are stuck fast. And while your weight does pull you back, it is not a challenge. And as you climb this tree, as you walk up it, I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. 22.
You don't see it until you're very high. Until you've walked up this tree for maybe 10 minutes. You're still ascending, looking up at its massive canopy, trusting that if you did slip, the strange changing water would keep you safe, as it always has before. You look back behind you, expecting to just see the watery surface below, but you see a reflection. And the reflection is what gives you pause. Because while you would expect to see the trees reflected back up in a beautiful mirror, almost as though a mural, instead what you see is the reflection of a night sky, as if there were no trees there. You see strange and nebulous gas clouds spattering purple and blue and green across the night sky. You see brilliant billions of stars in all directions. It looks as though a painter accidentally spread all of their colors across a black canvas and only did a so-and-so job of gathering them all up. That's what you see, looking down at the water below you.
He's just... Okay. He kind of just rubs his eyes and blinks. Is it still there?
Yeah, doesn't change.
And he looks behind him as he was, going to climb the tree and looks back and still the same?
Yep. Doesn't change.
And if I walk towards it?
It stays that way for quite a while until you get a bit closer to the ground. As you walk down, it's not until you get below about 500 feet that the reflections of the trees return. And it's not sudden. It's as though they slowly return, as though you're getting closer and closer to a window that you can see your own reflection in, but only barely until you get right up next to it.
But there was no transition walking up it.
Well, you weren't looking behind yourself as you were walking up it.
Right, yes. But, he saw nothing change, so his mind is just... Okay, Oh god, what would he do here?
I don't know. You're standing horizontally off of a tree looking down at a pool of water showing you both yourself and also a strange and beautiful night sky.
Okay, I'll turn around and look back up. How tall does this tree... Does this tree look like it goes on forever?
Not forever, but it's very high. You surmise maybe a couple thousand feet, nearly a mile.
Oh boy. I was not expecting to have my mind blown today.
I apologize.
No, it's a pleasant surprise. He'll walk down until the night sky disappears, and then he'll try to look off into the distance through the trees for any semblance of anything. A sign, a direction to go, something that sticks out.
Roll me investigation. That's intimidation.
That is intimidation. You're correct.
So you
you
scowl off into the distance.
You
Nothing
want me to
seems afraid
re-roll
of
or
you.
just add correct modifier?
Let's see. Yeah, re-roll it.
Okay. Much worse. 8.
8. Okay. Unfortunately, the results would have been similar.
I scowl because I don't see anything.
Yeah, basically, you look into the forest. You don't see any signs. You don't. It doesn't look like any answers are going to be handed to you.
Well, in frustration, jump off of the tree, fall into the water.
Okay. Well, if you are frustrated, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh yeah, he's frustrated. 20.
Despite your frustration, you managed to not lose your grip on the tree and to take a tumble that might have been dangerous. You keep your emotions relatively in check, at least enough to jump off the tree in a way that you mean to. As you jump off, you fall down toward the water. It breaks your fall just as it has always before. You find yourself dropped suddenly, maybe 30 feet below the surface. You can swim back up, or now you know you can swim down if you want to.
Oh, can I still see the ship?
You walked an hour away, so
You're right. Probably not. All right. So what
You
is
could-
down here in the water?
roll me a perception check.
I forgot I walked an hour away.
I did not.
15.
Roll me a D100.
Okay. 76.
Okay, hold on. You would not believe how many tables I had to make for this place.
I can believe it. This place is kind of fucking insane.
Okay.
You've blown my mind 3 different occasions already, so...
Oh boy, here's another.
Oh no!
As you look down, you see light coming from below you, hundreds of feet below you, and it doesn't look possible. What it looks like is fire submerged deep in the water. We're getting there. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Looking down maybe 150 feet below you and to the left. It's a good distance away, at least to your left, but it's the shape of a massive bird. And it is a flame. But the flames are not moving. The bird is not moving, and it is stuck, frozen, deep in the water.
We gotta go check that out. I'm not gonna swim down. I'm just gonna swim to the left
Until you're over it.
until I'm over it.
Okay. Roll me a history check.
8.
Dude. Okay. So, the only thing you know, the only flaming bird you can think of, are the strange mythological stories that you've heard travelers talking of about a phoenix. A flaming bird. The creature of myth and legend that is very commonly known and told stories of all over the place. This could be a phoenix, but it is not moving. It is frozen in place. Even the flames that seem to make up its wings look locked in how they burned.
Okay. Well, once I'm directly above it, I'll breach the surface to catch my breath again. And
Sure.
dive straight down to it.
You swim down to this frozen creature. The light gets brighter and brighter as you swim close to it. You feel as though you should be getting hot, but you are not. The water is the same temperature. You get... How close do you get?
I get right up to it if there's no signs of movement. Like, as I approach and it doesn't register that I'm there, I'll get right next to it.
The bird is in the motions of flight. You can see that its wings are in a downsweep. Its long, beautiful tail, made entirely of flame, is streaking as if this creature was flying very, very quickly. You see that its head is jutting forward. Its eyes are bright and wide open. They seem to be made of gems made of molten lava. Every inch of this creature is beautiful and impossible. And it is larger than your parents.
Oh shit, okay. He'll... Oh man. He'll reach out and just, like, slowly put his hand towards it, and if it doesn't get any hotter, he'll touch it.
It doesn't get any hotter at all. You reach out. Where do you touch it?
Probably right on its head, like right on the forefront of its forehead.
It is the strangest transition. As you touch it, as you're reaching out toward it, the water is cool. Cold, even. You're fairly comfortable with it, but it is not warm down here. And as your hand gets closer and closer to the creature, suddenly, the instant you touch the head of the phoenix, it is as though your fingertips have touched a hot branded iron to the point where it hurts. And you take some fire damage.
Okay. Fuck.
You take 13 points of fire damage.
A lot of fucking damage.
Yeah. This creature is hot. This creature is molten flame, frozen. Doesn't move. The flames don't move, as if they're burning. But the temperature is definitely there.
Oh my god, what the fuck happened to this bird? Oh man, oh, what? I'm at a loss here. Hold on.
Take your time.
And this bird is just... There's nothing touching this bird. It's just floating in the water. There's nothing below
Correct.
it or...
It looks as though it is just floating here. Not even moving with the eddies of the tide.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What? I want to mess with this bird so bad. I don't know where to start.
I was going to say, how? How do you mess with this bird? How do you mess with this phoenix?
How would my breath weapon work underwater?
Well, hold on a minute. You are pretty sure it should function. I mean, you've used your breath weapon underwater before. It's not really any different from above the water.
Okay, I'll breathe on it then. And see how it reacts. If at all.
Okay. You use your breath weapon on the frozen phoenix. The streams of icy cold almost hailstones that coalesce, and it's like a jet of freezing water well below freezing point. Water that the instant it is out of the jet of your breath weapon, it crystallizes and forms ice that floats up to the surface. You blast it directly into the phoenix. You watch as the ice crystals bounce off of the forms of the phoenix. They almost immediately melt, having touched it. The phoenix does not react.
Shit. Every part of it is fire, correct? Like
Yes.
its talons are fire. Nothing is like a physical like.
It's actually, well, no, its talons look like volcanic glass.
Oh, that's fucking sick. Can I guess can I do something to inspect every inch of this bird to see if there's anything on it that might be keeping it like this? A magical effect, some kind of magical device on it.
Roll an investigation. You're looking for anything out of place. Anything that looks like it
that
might
could
stick
explain,
out.
Yeah. Please, God.
You spend as much time as you can swimming around this phoenix, looking for anything out of place, anything that stands out to you or looks odd. There is what looks like an old injury on the left wing of the bird, but you don't think that is anything that might be causing it to be frozen. It is simply something you find that looks different from the rest. That is all you find with a 10.
Okay. God, why do my dice hate me? He'll give up for now and go back up to the surface.
Okay. You return to the surface.
Yep.
With how much time you spent inspecting that bird, I'm assuming that you did go up a couple more times before this.
Yeah. Anytime I would have needed to have gone to get breath, I would have gone and came back down.
Yeah. So I'm going to say you spent about 30 minutes trying to understand this phoenix frozen. But you do not. It does not make sense to you. By logic, it doesn't seem impossible. What do you do?
First, I'm going to try to commit to memory how I got here and where this place is.
Okay. You don't have to roll for that. You can just say you try to remember that.
Yeah, okay. He'll keep walking aimlessly.
Okay. In the same direction or a new direction?
We'll go a new direction. We'll go straight east.
Okay, you've changed from northeast to east. Hold on a minute. Okay. How far do you walk? How long do you walk, I should say?
At the very least, another hour.
Okay. Roll me a D100 and a perception check.
20. And a 26. Oh, give me 1 second. I have to be right back real quick.
Okay.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back.
No worries. Hold on a moment. I'm dealing with your roll. I think I may need you to re-roll, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to re-roll. That doesn't work.
Yeah, no worries.
It would work somewhere else here, but it doesn't work here. Okay.
Oh, sadness.
Yeah.
46.
Huh.
Is this about to be another one?
No, this is this might actually help you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Here is what you find. As you are walking, with a 26 on perception, after about 45 minutes of walking east, you suddenly hear catching. It almost sounds like just like a scratching in the distance. But you begin to hear it, and it is definitely sound of something scratching on wood.
I'll move closer to check it out.
As you head in that direction, you see there is a humanoid figure on a tree. They have in their hands a small knife, and they are trying to pierce the bark of the tree with that knife. They're not getting anywhere. And you can see them getting frustrated as they continually try to ram the knife into the tree. The individual is wearing clothes that do not remind you of any place that you've seen. They're wearing a long leather, almost like a poncho. Beneath that, brown leather leggings and then moccasins, reaching down into the water. They're not facing you. You can tell from the back they have short black hair. And as they worry at this tree, you swear you can hear them muttering to themselves.
Might be dumb, but he'll walk up and... Excuse me, do you need some help?
The individual turns and looks at you, which is startling because they're wearing a mask.
Oh.
It's a wooden mask that seems as though it's hewn from bark, not from a tree like this. The mask looks as though moss has grown on it. It is old, well worn. And as the individual looks at you, he says in common back to you, "Help? How would you help? Who are you?"
I'm Levi, and I'm sure we could find a way to do whatever you're trying to do.
I've been trying to do this for as long as I can remember. I don't see how you could help.
On the same tree?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't moved from this spot, or you come back every day?
He kind of looks around. You see the head turning. I'm sure I've moved from this spot.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. No, it's been... I don't remember. And He looks... The way his body language is moving, you could see he's desperately trying to put something together, but he doesn't have anything to put together. He seems lost and confused.
You know where you are, sir.
I know very well who I am. I'm Uller Vandin of Pitol.
Of what?
Of Pitol. You know, the town by the cliffs, the only town able to mine the ridges.
No, I'm afraid not. I am quite new here.
Oh, well, it's no matter.
Anyway, here, let's take a look at what you're doing, and I'll come up and look at the tree he's trying to pierce.
The tree shows no signs of a sharp edge scratching it. The bark is smooth, it's thick. You see it's tinted slightly green by the moss growing on it. The moss shows that it's been kind of scraped away in certain spots, but the bark is undamaged.
And what is your goal with this again? You don't remember?
I need to make a new mask. He sounds hesitant, as if he thinks that's why he's doing this, but he's not sure.
I'll pull my dagger out and try to scratch the wood, see actually how thick it is.
As you do, the bark resists the edge of your knife. You don't even divot it. There's no scratch, there's no mark that you even touched it.
And if I just like push into it with my hand and like kind of give it a force test, and how does it feel? Does it bend? Does it feel like steel? Is it like
no, the bark feels a little bit spongy, as you would expect tree bark to feel. But you can't cut it. You can't seem to scratch it.
Am I able to... So I'm going to try to punch it and see if that does any damage to it.
Okay, roll an attack. A 20 certainly hits the tree. Go ahead and roll damage. 6. Okay. One moment, please. As you strike the tree, it feels as though you could damage the bark. It feels as though the bark almost has this sticky feeling, as it did when you walk along the trees. But when you pull your hand away, there is no sign that you punched it.
I'll turn and look to the man. And how far from here is your village?
The man looks at you and he says, I don't have a village. I'm from Pitol. It's a massive city.
Sorry. How far is the city from here?
Oh, it's... He looks like he has raised his hand as if to gesture. And when he tries to give you a direction, he says, I don't know.
you know. This is quite the predicament.
I once knew. I'm sure if I saw a landmark, I'd know the way. I just need to right myself and get my thoughts in the right order.
Can I want to see if there's anything I can glean from this guy. Is he faking? Is he under magical influence? Has he just been here so long that he has truly forgotten?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
Gotta put it on the dice. Okay, a 13.
Yeah, they're not really working with me tonight, though.
No, but that's okay. He seems genuinely confused. He seems like a person who is genuinely confused and is trying to hide that confusion. There is definitely an edge of fear on his voice at the end of what he's saying, as he realizes he doesn't remember where he came from. He doesn't remember where he is.
Alright. Well, that's alright if you don't remember. How about you follow me and we'll get you someplace safe? Or at least figure out how to get you back.
No. It is important that I remain here. My companions will be back for me any moment. This is where I must stay.
How many companions did you have?
We were a group of 4.
And what is their job here?
Oh, they're and he looks confused again.
You know which direction they went?
That way. I'm confident of it. And he points south.
Do I believe he's confident in that?
Roll an insight check.
23.
Yeah. He believes they went south.
Right. Well, you stay here and I'll see if I can find them.
Of course. This is where I will be.
And I'll head straight south.
Okay. You start moving south. Oh, man.
There's... I don't know, man. There's just so many things that I wanna do, but they just... I don't know how to get to the end I want.
I understand the frustration.
Ah.
You are in, let me say, a weird place.
you don't say. Oh.
Anyway. As you are heading south, I'd like you to roll me a perception check, and I'd like to know how far you're walking south.
How long have I been walking to get here?
I
think this is hour 4, hour 3.
Oh, since the beginning?
Yeah, since the beginning.
The suns don't seem to have moved. You cannot tell the passage of time.
Oh boy, okay. He'll walk for 2 hours. We'll walk south for 2 hours.
Okay. Roll me perception.
Okay. $25.
As you're heading south, the trees are still massive. However, They seem to be getting a little bit farther apart. It's maybe the forest is finally thinning. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a slight clearing. However, as you are walking, it feels as though there's more room around you to look around, stretch even. With that 25 perception, you see ahead of you, emerging from the shallow water, there is a small hill, a grass knoll almost, that juts up and out of the water. It's about 100 feet away, but from here you could see there is something on top of it.
I will get closer. And if whatever's on top of it shows hostility, we'll approach carefully.
It's an object. It doesn't look like an individual.
Okay, well then we'll just approach it.
You see that there is a rusted sword that has been driven into the ground, and a helmet sits on top of the hilt.
Oh, this is a grave. Oh. Oh man. Okay. Is there any? Okay. What does the helmet look like?
Are you familiar with a sallet helm?
I am.
That is what it looks like. It
Okay.
is old, though. The iron has clearly been rusted by time. It has been here for a long time.
Oh, I don't know what race that man was because he had the wooden mask on. Okay. Oh man, do we?
Do you look closer? Do you leave it alone?
Yeah, he'll get close to inspect it.
Okay. You see that on the hilt of the sword there is lettering. It's rusty, but you can make it out as it's written. Wait a minute. What language do you speak again? I'm sorry.
I speak Common, Draconic, Primordial, and Undercommon.
Okay.
So I probably.
No, it is in Undercommon.
Okay, cool.
In Undercommon, labeled on the hilt of this blade, it says, Longclaw, Captain of the Guard.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I will. Okay. So he won't disturb the grave.
Okay.
Oh, but what if he? Nope, he won't disturb the grave. He'll continue walking south for another hour.
Okay. You do notice that definitely the trees are farther apart. You can see the sky now. But that doesn't give you any semblance of comfort, as it is just gray. In all directions, the sky is gray. You realize you don't know what direction the suns are in. And you've been traveling entirely by the cardinal instinct that you have practiced.
Oh boy. I still feel where the door to get out is. Correct?
Yes, you do feel where that is.
That would be my, I guess, guiding point then. Okay, so in that next hour, I have found nothing, just the trees spreading apart further and further, and then open sky.
Well, not quite. You do also find, after about 45 minutes of walking, the water ends. You find yourself standing on a plain. Grassy plain. Seems to go on for quite a while.
Holy shit. Okay. So I'm looking out into the grassy plain, as far as the eye can see.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything on the horizon? Any signs of maybe a city or houses or any kind of...
No.
Alright, we're gonna turn around and head back up and look for the masked man again.
Okay. You know the way. You don't need to roll for it. As you head north, using the feeling of where the door is, you find him after a couple hours of walking. He is back to laboring at the tree.
Still no luck on the tree, sir?
Who goes there? Oh. I'm sorry. Have we met before?
Oh, shit. You don't remember me.
No, should I? I've never seen you before.
We talked like 4 or 5 hours ago. You belong to this city that is meant to mine the cliffs.
Yes, Pithole, of course. Many people are from there. That doesn't mean anything. I don't... I'm sorry. I really believe I'd remember such a figure as yourself. I'm Uller.
Ula, do you know of a Longclaw?
Let me roll a history check. I may... Who's asking?
I have come across his grave.
A grave?
Where he's been buried.
They can't be the same, then. The Longclaw I know of is scout captain of Fell City.
He is definitely the scout captain. That was engraved on the sword with his helmet.
Well, first of all, Scout Captain Longclaw was a she, and
my apologies.
and was a knoll. So if they are dead, there will definitely be some problems. Who would take charge then?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure where your city is.
You don't know where Pithole is?
I do not.
Oh, well, that's quite simple. If you just follow down the Rockwood Road and get off the highway, you will eventually find it. You can't miss it. It's nestled between the Rock Peak Mountains.
And where is this road at?
What do you mean? It's off the Quartercross. Everyone knows that.
Where is it from here? How do I get there from here?
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Clearly there's... You know... You keep working on that tree. I'm sure your new mask will look great.
I thank you, stranger.
I gotta put this in my notes, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. The grave was south. Trees split, open fields. It's something different. We're gonna go back down south, past the grave, and through the fields.
Okay. That's quite a ways. That's a few hours walk. As you're making your way, you notice you're not getting tired, and you're not getting hungry.
I suppose you shouldn't even be surprised at this point.
Okay. You accept that and keep moving. All right. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 13.
Hold on.
I can only imagine the amount of tables you have.
Okay. As you are walking, you're on these vast plains. Actually, I think a change in soundtrack is effective here. As you are walking on this open grass field where you can see the towering forests behind you, they seem to stretch in both directions almost unendingly. Ahead of you, as you're walking, mostly things seem empty. And then suddenly you see there is a small stone slab. You happen across it. It's only 50 feet off of your current path. And on it you see are 3 inverted raindrops in a pattern, one right next to the other. Beneath that you see there is a small stone bowl with a little bit of dust inside of it. At a glance, this looks like a shrine. An old one.
Huh. He is raindrops pointing upward in an empty, dry bowl.
Yes.
His first thought is to pour some water into the bowl. So he'll pull out his water skin and he'll offer some water into the bowl.
The bowl fills with water. The dust kind of floats atop it. You have done that.
Right. Okay. He'll... He doesn't trust anything here. Nothing is as it seems, and everything seems like it has something more to him. So he's gonna run his hands up and over the whole slab, looking for anything.
The stone slab feels cold to the touch. It feels very solid. Hold on a minute. There might be a interaction that occurs here. I need to roll. Okay. As you run your hands, that's interesting. Okay. All right. As you run your hands over the stone slab, you feel it, the various cracks in the stone beneath your fingertips. You suddenly don't feel alone.
Oh no.
You feel as though someone's looking over your shoulder, almost.
I slowly turn and look.
Yeah. As you look, you see, not unlike the mask that Uller was wearing, you see a individual kind of bent over, looking over your shoulder, as it felt like. But they're wearing a mask that is perfect and symmetrical, but there's no eye holes, there's no mouth hole. It's just a smooth sheet of purple and black and green and red and speckled, almost like a star-like pattern. And in the middle of the mask are 3 inverted raindrops that glow blue. And as you look up at it, you hear, in a voice that resonates inside your chest, "Looking for something?"
I'm gonna roll a wisdom save here to see if I can keep myself composed.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, it's 25. He just takes a breath. Yes, I am.
"You bring timely water to my offering, and then fondle my shrine. What is it that you could be looking for?"
I didn't mean any disrespect. I'm just looking for answers.
"That is good, because I do not feel disrespected."
Good.
"What sort of answers are you looking for?"
Where is this place? Where am I?
"That was your task set out for you, was it not?"
That was.
"I feel it would be cheating if I told you."
Would it? I was told to find the answer, whether it would be someone telling me or not. It is
Roll
well
me
within
a
the rules.
roll me a persuasion check.
Oh God. God.
This might be a situation to use your inspiration.
I didn't think I had one.
I gave you one forever ago. I don't remember.
Did you?
Yeah,
I
don't remember
never
why.
wrote that down.
Okay.
So,
well,
okay. This might be one to use. You might be right. 17. I think that is pretty good.
a 17. Okay. With a 17, the individual looks at you and says, "You who hide your true form seek answers here. Well, you are in between, where lost things are found and found things are lost." "Have you been here long?" "You don't know, do you?"
I do not. The suns feel like they don't move. I don't get tired, don't get hungry.
"Of course they don't move. There is no time here."
I was told that these are places that can be found in the world. You could walk and you could get here.
"You could. I wouldn't recommend it." "You are in the temporal plane."
Huh. I have so many more questions than just...
"Well, it seems as though I have the time." And the individual stands up, and you see they are much taller than you first thought they were. They're wearing a long blue robe that seems as though it doesn't really have any definition to it. It seems to be draped over their body, and it ends at the ground.
Oh. Who are you?
"I am Myriad." "It is rare one such as yourself from a uniquely sheltered upbringing comes here on purpose.
I wanted more than what my upbringing had to offer.
I thank you for your truth.
There is a man back there, several hours back. He doesn't remember anything, and he forgets every time we meet.
He is lost. He will remain here for eternity.
There's no way out once you're lost.
Should he be returned to a proper timeline, he will age as old as he is.
Oh shit. Is Pitol still a city?
No.
Oh shit. Okay. And I think my final question for you. Do you know of the phoenix under the water? Or the firebird? I'm not sure what it is.
Yes.
Is there no way to unfreeze him? Is he the same? Is he lost?
Yes. He was lost at the same moment. Me and my brethren were found.
You have been quite gracious with your information.
Well, these are simple questions. I don't mind providing simple answers.
No,
It is
that's
the
quite-
simple answers that provide more questions, which is where my domain truly lies.
What is your domain?
The individual taps their head.
Okay, I think I understand.
I knew you would.
I think that is all I have.
Those are all of your questions.
Any more and it would be considered greedy.
Very well.
And I will give him they a slight bow and start to head back towards the door.
Okay. You can't help but feel like you're being watched. And every time you look over your shoulder, it seems as though that figure is not far behind.
That's fucking eerie.
Do you do anything, or you're just marching straight there?
There's nope. He has got his answer. He is not gonna wander. Anything else might lead to something else. He's just gonna go straight back to Irriakis.
As you're walking, I need you to roll me a D6.
6. God, don't laugh like that.
As you're walking and you dive back into the forest of massive trees, your passive perception avails you to the fact that that figure is to your right and moving at the same pace you are. Its mask still facing you.
I'll look to him. Is there something you need from me?
No.
All right then. I'll just keep walking with him.
Okay. As you are walking, the entire time, that individual stays 10, 15 feet away. You watch as they seem to pass through the tree trunks that you're walking around.
Okay.
They also don't seem to be taking footsteps. It's as though they
They're
are
just
gliding.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. Oh, okay. I just keep going and just occasionally glance at him.
After, like, the third or fourth glance, the individual says, "It appears as though you do have more questions."
One immediately pops into mind. Why are you walking with me?
Because you have more questions. And I am learning how you handle my presence. Not well, it seems.
I wouldn't say it's not well. It's just not every day that you... Yes, I have more questions.
Well,
But practicing restraint is also good.
it can be.
Do you watch over this whole place?
No. This is not my realm. This is easy to traverse.
Do you have more than one shrine here?
Yes. I have shrines everywhere. Most don't notice them.
If I don't ask all of my questions before we get back to my master, are you still going to follow me?
Perhaps.
Have you met my master? And I'm asking these as we're walking.
I know him.
So people in this realm, they get lost and they don't age. And when they go back to where they belong, they age to where they should be.
You misunderstand. When people are lost, they find themselves in this realm.
You're right, I do misunderstand. What kind of lost?
Lost in time. Out of sync. No
That
longer
is-
aligned with the world around them.
That does not even seem possible. How does that even happen?
That is not a simple answer. I can show you.
Oh, fuck.
Does Luxunvur say, "Oh fuck"?
Probably.
Okay. Myriad says, I'll take that as a no.
You shouldn't just take things how you want them.
I want
of
nothing.
course, I would love to see.
Very well. This is gonna be weird.
This whole thing has already been weird. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I am down. I am ready.
Sorry, people are coming and going.
It's alright.
Myriad leans down and scrutinizes Luxunvur. The robe shifts in a hand, a little bit too pale, a little bit too white, reaches out. And before it touches you, the fingers, the middle finger and the thumb, come together. And there is a flash of light. And you are no longer in the temporal plane. You are no longer in Irriakis' sanctuary. You find yourself in the lobby of the Mirror. But as you stand there and you look at Persh, who's at his desk, you see yourself arrive. You watch yourself sign up for the Merigard Academy. You watch yourself go into the selections room. You watch as the human form of Tabernac approaches the desk and has a conversation with Persh. You watch as the selections door opens. Tabernac goes invisible. You emerge with Maxwell. You head up the hall. You watch as Tabernac reappears. You watch as many parchments are pulled out. Everything seems to be hard to hear, hard to understand. What do you do?
I go over and look at the parchments they have.
It's fuzzy. You can't read what's there. It seems as though you can't really learn any information right now.
I reach out and try to touch Tabernac.
Your hand, you suddenly feel this strange vibration as your hand passes through his shoulder as if he's not there. Or you're not there.
I'm going to try to go into a door that I've never been into. I'm going to try to go inside So any random door in the hall that I haven't been in, I want to go in.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
65.
Okay. A door you have not been in before. You step into a door. Yeah, it would work. As you step through the door, you find yourself in a small room, an office-like room, where there is a broad table. There are a few people here you don't recognize. You don't know if maybe they're contractors or other employees of the Mirror. You don't know. At the head of the table is a red-skinned tiefling who is reading off some parchments, and other individuals are making notes about it. You don't really know what you're seeing here.
That answers the question I had. Okay, it's not just my memory. It's not me just playing tricks. Oh boy. Going into the room, did I open the door or did I just go through it?
If you attempted to open the door, your hand would have passed through the doorknob.
Right, and then I just would have walked right through it. Okay. Um, what do I even do here? I'm going
I
to.
don't know.
Yeah, I know.
No
I
one's
know.
done this before, Simic.
Fucking hell. Um,
No one's asked the god of thought to make them out of sync with time, so here you are.
yeah. um, I'm just gonna go. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my room, not my room, the classroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up and see if I can get in and go find Irriakis.
The instant that you enter the door to Irriakis' sanctuary, you feel this buzzing sensation. And it seems as though you can't enter the door. And then you hear Myriad's voice. You can only be in two places at one time when you're on different planes.
Oh. I understand. I see. Oh.
I knew you would.
Oh my God. Can you text me?
Yes. And the instant he says that, you are back in your present, standing on the water, looking at Myriad.
That was a lot. Thank you.
You are welcome. It was entertaining to watch you learn.
I seek knowledge. That is the one thing I want more than anything else currently.
Then you are on the right path.
I don't think I have any more questions.
Myriad's mask dips a little, and you blink, and he's gone.
He's just gonna walk back in silence to Irriakis.
Okay. Irriakis is in his meditation circle. You arrive. He looks up at you and he says, "You return."
It takes him a few moments to even realize that Irriakis has said something. He's just so lost in thought of what's happened. He goes, "Oh, yeah, sorry."
You have learned where we are.
We're in the temporal plane.
Yes. Do you know why?
I do not.
It is force of will that keeps us founded in our bodies. Force of will that resists those that would turn us from our course. Here, it is a true force of will to keep us where we ought to be. Every day you spend here is training.
you know Myriad?
Irriakis blinks. The god? I am familiar.
Oh. That makes a lot more sense all of a sudden. I met him. Or it. They. I'm not real sure.
Irriakis blinks and says, Then consider yourself lucky. Or blessed.
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I imagine you saw many things.
More things that only led to more questions. But in the end, I understand.
The lesson here is to never take things at face value. But the warning here, do not trust anything you see.
Understood.
Well, thank you. And I will see you tomorrow. It is
I give
likely
him a bow.
best you get some sleep.
Yes, master.
He kind of dips his head in a respectful bow back. Do you leave the room?
Or do.
The instant you do, you feel all the wear, all the fatigue, the hunger, all of it catches up to you, and you realize you just spent all day walking
long
and swimming.
Oh,
You
boy.
are exhausted. You have exhaustion level 1.
Awesome.
But you also now have advantage on survival checks whilst in the temporal plane.
Awesome. Features and traits, I will add that in there. Oh, yeah.
It is about 9 o'clock at night.
If he's exhausted as you say he is going to fucking pass out.
Okay.
He has been overwhelmed mentally, physically. It's been a day.
It certainly has. And that is where we are going to stop today's session.
Yep, perfectly good with that. That was a good session. That was a good welcome back. Fuck you. Get your brain in the game session.
I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you everybody for watching. We will see you next time on From Nothing, Luxunvur's story.
We will. God damn.